In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NFL games happening on August 17, 2024, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NFL games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Detroit Lions versus Kansas City Chiefs. The Detroit Lions are set to face off against the 2-time defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs this Saturday in what will be the second preseason game for both teams. Both the Lions and the Chiefs have high hopes for the upcoming season, with aspirations of making deep playoff runs and potentially competing for the Super Bowl. These teams boast rosters filled with top-tier talent on both sides of the ball, making this matchup one to watch closely, even in the preseason. While both squads dropped their preseason openers, it's important to note that neither team deployed their starting players in those games, which contributed to their respective losses. Looking ahead to this game, I expect the Chiefs to increase their offensive intensity after taking a more conservative approach in their first preseason outing. Quarterback Patrick Mahomes should see more playing time this week, likely staying on the field for more than just one series. He will need to establish better timing with his receiving core, particularly after the recent injury to wide receiver Hollywood Brown. In the Chiefs' first preseason game, head coach Andy Reid maintained a balanced offensive approach with 27 run plays and 27 pass plays. However, I anticipate that Reid will call more pass plays in this game, especially with Mahomes under center. The Chiefs averaged only 4.9 yards per pass play in their first preseason game, but they are expected to be more aggressive and attempt more downfield passes this time around. On the other side of the ball, the Lions struggled offensively in their opener against the New York Giants, managing only 3 points and failing to convert any of their red zone opportunities, going 0 for 3. While part of this can be attributed to the limited playing time for their starters, it also reflects head coach Dan Campbell's tendency to use the preseason to experiment and work on specific aspects of the game. Historically, Campbell has not prioritized preseason wins, as evidenced by his 3-7 record as a head coach in the preseason. The recent injury to rookie running back Jahmyr Gibbs is likely to make the Lions even more cautious in terms of playing their starters this week. There is a stark contrast in the coaching philosophies of Dan Campbell and Andy Reid when it comes to preseason games. While Campbell has a career preseason record of 3-7, Reid has a much more extensive preseason coaching record, sitting at 46-48. Reid is known for giving his starters more playing time in these games, which may give the Chiefs an edge. When comparing the backup quarterbacks, the Chiefs seem to have a stronger group with Carson Wentz, Ian Book, and Chris Oladokun, all of whom are expected to outperform the Lions' backup duo of Nate Sudfeld and rookie Hendon Hooker. The Lions managed just 3 points in their preseason opener, so it's reasonable to expect the veteran Chiefs team, which is more comfortable in Reid's well-established system, to care of things in this one. So the Kansas City Chiefs to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. In my view, the Lions roster appears to be top-heavy, with a noticeable talent gap between their starting players and their depth pieces. Given that we may not see many, if any, of the Lions starters in this game, I wouldn't be surprised if their offense continues to struggle, much like it did in the first preseason game. On the other side, Kansas City suffered a significant setback with the injury to wide receiver Hollywood Brown, who will be out for several weeks due to a shoulder injury sustained in the game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. To avoid further injuries, I can see the Chiefs being cautious and possibly limiting the playing time of their first stringers as well. Neither offense looked particularly sharp in their preseason openers, with the Lions scoring just 3 points and the Chiefs putting up 13. While their defenses allowed a combined 40 points, both Detroit and Kansas City are known for playing tough, hard-nosed defense, which could limit the offensive production in this game. All things considered, this game has all the makings of a typical low-scoring preseason affair. Therefore, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Minnesota Vikings versus Cleveland Browns. It has been a hectic week for both the Minnesota Vikings and the Cleveland Browns, with a mix of injuries and off-the-field distractions. Despite these challenges, both teams are preparing to face off in their second preseason game. The Vikings enter the matchup with some momentum, having edged out the Raiders in their first preseason contest with a 24-23 victory. On the other hand, the Browns suffered a 23-10 loss at the hands of the Packers. Both teams will be looking to put recent issues behind them as they focus on the upcoming game. Without Deshaun Watson on the field for the Browns, the Vikings seem to have a significant edge at the quarterback position. Sam Darnold is expected to lead the Minnesota offense effectively, with strong support from Nick Mullins and Jaren Hall. In contrast, the Browns offense only managed to put up 10 points in their first game, and they may find it difficult to generate much offense here as well. Given these factors, it's likely that the Browns will struggle to keep pace, and the Vikings should be able to secure the win. Therefore, the Minnesota Vikings to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. I'm confident that Minnesota's offense will struggle to impress, especially with Darnold and Hall taking most of the snaps after McCarthy's injury sidelined him. Much of the team's offense in Week 1 was driven by the rookie, and with Darnold now as the primary quarterback, he's unlikely to play more than a series or two. With star receiver Justin Jefferson likely sitting out and up-and-coming talent Jordan Addison unavailable due to an injury during joint practice, the Vikings' passing game will be missing key playmakers. This will allow the Browns to concentrate on stopping the run more effectively. The Browns, however, had their own difficulties moving the ball in Week 1. Their lack of explosive plays is expected to persist against Minnesota, especially with third-string quarterback Dorian Thompson-Robinson expected to take most of the snaps. The run game, which struggled behind weak blocking, is also unlikely to fare much better in this matchup. Preseason games are often characterized by lackluster offensive performances, and this one should be no different. With backup quarterbacks Sam Darnold and Jameis Winston leading their respective teams, there shouldn't be much scoring. I expect the Vikings to take a cautious approach, particularly given the injuries they've sustained this week. Although the Browns are playing at home, their offense looked disjointed against the Packers, and that may continue here. Therefore, under the projected total is our full game total pick. New York Jets versus Carolina Panthers. The New York Jets and Carolina Panthers will face off in the second week of preseason action with a Saturday night showdown in Charlotte. In their first preseason game, the Jets secured a narrow 20-17 victory over the Washington Commanders last Saturday. Meanwhile, the Panthers struggled to get their offense going, suffering a 17-3 defeat at the hands of the New England Patriots last Thursday. This marks the second consecutive preseason where these two teams will meet on the field, adding another chapter to their budding preseason rivalry. In the days leading up to the game, both teams are scheduled to participate in joint practices, a tradition that often fuels competitive tension and sparks intensity between the squads. This game will also be the first opportunity for fans to see Bryce Young and Carolina's starting offensive unit in action. As the young quarterback enters his second season in the NFL, this matchup serves as an important test as he seeks to solidify his role on the team. The Panthers' offensive approach is expected to be significantly different from what was displayed last week, and their time practicing against the Jets will offer valuable insights into New York's defensive strategies. Additionally, the ongoing Reddick drama with the Jets continues to loom over the weekend, with both sides remaining steadfast in their positions. This unresolved issue could potentially impact the team, especially since it's still a fresh topic of concern. With these dynamics in play, the Carolina Panthers to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. In the opening week of preseason games, the Jets and Panthers combined for a total of just 23 points. Carolina's backup offense struggled to find its rhythm, often moving in the wrong direction. While the Jets also relied on their second and third units during last week's game, they managed to generate enough momentum to score 20 points. Although they likely won't field their first-team players again, we can expect the Jets' offense to perform similarly to last weekend, given that those who do play are already in sync. This week is also critical for players vying for roster spots, which could add extra motivation on the field. On the Panthers side, we should see at least a series or two from their first-team offense, which should help improve their scoring output compared to last week's performance. In their previous preseason encounter, the Jets dominated with a 27-0 victory. However, this time around, I anticipate Carolina contributing more to the scoreboard. As a result, over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.